Okay, so this is week 2 of making a feature film, and this has been a little harder for me. I have 4 film concepts so far. I originally narrowed it down to 1, but after reading about copyright law and what is and isn't allowed, I decided to drop that one. Just for now. It has music in it that has to be in the film because the music is a core character or tool in it. It's literally the most important factor that drives the film. So I'm swinging between these other two, but what I may do is write both, possibly try to sell one or have someone else make it and make the other one for myself. While I am writing both, at the moment I'm concentrating on one, mainly because the flow of ideas and scenes are firing off, and I think once that slows down, I'll switch to the next one. This kind of helps me maintain a level of a creative flow and ideas whenever I'm concentrating on something else. That usually sparks ideas for that other thing. I get these aha moments. That works for me anyway. I don't know if it'll work for you, but you should try it. Anyways, this week I wrote out probably about 10 log lines for one film. I did this to really dig and feel around which one might work and try to extract the one that best speaks to me about that film. It also helped me dig for the most marketable one. I did have a bit of a problem finding a solid logline that I liked. What I tend to do is read off samples and keep them up or write them down or somewhere I can see them so I could read them over and over and over again. There is kind of a formula to writing loglines, and the best examples of that are from 2 sites. These are the 2 that I reference the most. The first one's from Point Park University, which literally talks about the Logline Formula. Everything I reference, by the way, is going to be linked in the description. This was great because it explains a logline. It gives you great tips like the 4 elements, length, and explains the differences between logline and tagline. And the best part of it is it shows a few great examples at the end. The other articles from Noam Kroll. I reference this one a lot, and this one actually was the biggest help to actually finding the logline that I like. The way he breaks down his formula was honestly really eye-opening. Basically, his method is simply asking yourself 4 questions about the story of your film, starting from the end and working your way to the beginning. He follows with a fantastic example of using Back to the Future. It was so simple, and once I did that, I figured out the perfect logline. I know if you're a well-versed writer, you probably won't need this, but if you're like me, and no matter how many things you've written or done, you're going to need examples just to kind of remind you. I need reminders every day for different things, and this is just one other thing that I need a reminder of. The next parts that I wrote were the short synopsis, the character notes, and the backstory ideas. This seemed like an easy feat, or I thought it was going to be an easy feat, but honestly, it was just kind of brutal for me mentally. I kind of just blurted everything on paper, everything that I can think of. I just couldn't really think of a good way to do it, and I thought maybe I was not doing it right. So I kind of emailed my situation to Noam, and he emailed back giving me a great format to really focus in on it, basically keeping it to 500 words or less and highlighting all of the main story points from beginning to end, along with the tone and major characters. I seem to be doing this already. Sometimes I just need someone else to kind of let me know that it's fine to be messy. At the moment, this isn't something I'm trying to pitch anyway or sell. No one's going to look at this. Everything I'm writing right now is just to get them out of my head, just to get them out, and I can organize my thoughts later. This was something I did before, but I could never really sell a script, so maybe I kind of thought I was maybe doing something wrong, but sometimes doubt creeps up and you feel like a fraud, but the biggest part is just moving forward a little every day. This week, I had more days that I just looked at a blank page and wrote a bunch of things that aren't probably going to be in the movie, but I wrote and I cleared my head, and I do have things that I can use here and there. So while it's small and it's hard to see, I didn't fail this week, and that's a victory. The last thing I do have for you guys is it's one more site that I did reference about loglines. I know it seems silly to concentrate so much about loglines, but I would go back and forth in the story and had to change aspects of it, and as those aspects grew and changed, so did the aspects of the logline. Anyway, This one's more of a fun thing. It's fun to see other movie loglines, and screencraft.org has a list of 101 best movie loglines, and they don't tell you what those movies are. So it's fun to see how many you can identify. Let me tell you, this has been a resurgence for my drive in movie making. I half lost hope that I wouldn't be making one, and honestly, I thought for a while that I was just going to live my life wondering. Well, that's the worst way you could live your life, wondering what could be. I'm not going to let that happen to me. So thanks again for following, if you are following, and let me know if you have any questions, but thanks for hanging out with me today. You guys have a great day.